Hey, and welcome back to another amazing segment here on Gems Podcast. With me is a special guest today by the name of Christina Hooper. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Christina, but she is definitely a firecracker, woman on the mission, and she believes in getting done. And she does that via personal branding and digital marketing. But here's a little insight into her background. So, Christina helps entrepreneurs build businesses that enable their lifestyle instead of taking over their life. She uncovers their superpowers and focuses on the big picture ideas, and in the trenches execution, they need to help them create scalable ways to generate profits and creating a community of raving fans. Who doesn't want that? And who doesn't want to be where the money resides, where the money resides? So, without further ado, please welcome Christina Hooper.
Hey, thank you for having me.
My pleasure, Christina. And before we dive into the segment, which is your beat, your jam, and all that great stuff, I definitely want to give you a chance to connect with the audience in a fun and personal manner via two options. We could either do an icebreaker or a rapid fire 10 question game. What are you in the mood for?
Oh man, let's do rapid fire.
Okie dokie. So we're playing rapid fire with Christina and Genesis. Do 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 do. Question numero uno. What is your favorite color? I think I know, but I want to hear you say it.
I mean, it's hard to guess, blue.
I love blue. See, I even have blue on today, so we're in the vein. Question two. If you could go back in time and give your younger self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh, I think we actually talked about that one a little bit earlier. As weird as it is, Kegels are very important when you're pregnant.
Question three. Dream car, dream home, or if you're like me, both.
Oh, dream home.
Question four. What is your drink of choice? Coffee, tea, or something else?
Whiskey.
Ooh, Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah.
Question five. What is your happy place?
Oh, anywhere with a book.
Question six. Favorite book or movie?
Oh my gosh, can we go TV show? Doctor Who?
Oh, yeah, you can do a TV show. Okay, so Doctor Who. Question seven. This is a funny one. Have you ever been in the position where you're like, Christina just wants to engage her evil ego and just slap or punch the crap out of somebody? Has that ever been you?
Yeah, I live in the South, so on a regular basis with locals.
Okay, I'm going to make this question number 8. Where in the South do you live? Because I am a Southern belle myself.
In North Georgia, so
Oh, okay.
just outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee, in a tiny little town.
Oh, okay. See, I'm in Texas, where they say everything's bigger in Texas, and we do not all ride on horses. We're not all cowboys or cowgirls.
I'm actually going to be in Texas next week.
Hey, you know what Drake says? All my exes live in Texas like I'm George Strait.
Oh man, nice.
Question 9. What is your favorite music genre?
Irish Celtic.
Oh, okay. Let me see if you're gonna take this leap. Can you sing something for us? Because I am not familiar with Irish
No,
Celtic.
most of it doesn't have words. It's like a lot of vocalizing. A lot of the words are in Gaelic, and it just makes you feel good when you listen to it. You just get vibes.
Okay. I like her vibes, y'all. And question 10, it's our pass or play question. And here are the rules. If you choose to pass, Our roles are reversed and you get to ask me a question. If you choose to play, I ask one last question to wrap up rapid fire. So, do you want to pass or play?
Let's play. I've done okay so far.
Okay, question 10. What is your favorite food?
Anything chocolate? Mississippi mud cake is probably my favorite though.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, yummy. Now you make me want to have something chocolatey. So thank you for playing Rapid Fire with Genesis, Christina. So let's talk about personal branding and digital marketing because those are some of your expertise. You talk about being the digital marketing guru, but you also talked about the importance of personal branding. So, why is personal branding so important?
I think especially if you're a service-based business and you're working directly with other businesses or directly with consumers, and trust is really important, building your personal brands faster. It's easier. It solves for a lot of the problems that a lot of small business owners don't realize they're even going to have until they've spent years trying to grow up a brand, like a company. Like, instead of trying to grow Sparkative the company, growing Christina Hooper the brand is a lot faster because I'm a human. It's easier to connect with me, you know?
Yeah, so embracing that inner unicorn, would you say that?
Yeah, I think it's like I had my hair blue even before I figured all this out and went that direction. But it just like it makes you kind of niche without niching. Because most people hate the idea of niching their business down. Like they don't want to work with just a certain type of industry or just a certain type of business. And it's like, well, what if I miss out on all this big business? Or what if like there's so many things they don't like? But niching helps you get better at what you do, get better at delivering your services, get better at delivering outcomes for people. And it's like when you build your personal brand, you're kind of naturally niching without niching. Like my business is still a digital marketing agency. We can do all kinds of stuff. Like I can list off everything that we do and I could be talking for 10 minutes. But when I talk about like me as a human, I like helping other small business owners grow their business faster and smarter. Like, oh, that's easy. Like we're going to do it by turning your superpowers into sales and making you look amazing. Oh, cool. Tell me more, right? Like it starts a conversation with me and you can like see passion. You can build trust. You start getting better at doing like signature talks. Like anytime you're asked to give a presentation, it's not like, oh, do I want to talk about websites or do I want to talk about blogging or do I want to talk about logos and branding or do I want to talk? It's like, no, I want to talk about making a scalable business by making one person look amazing and using that to drive sales.
Mm.
Like, ooh, so it gets easier, you know?
And I like that because you are your brand, whether you realize it or not. People are always going to be looking at you. When you walk into the room for the first time, first impressions are lasting impressions. They're sizing you up, regardless. They're looking at your hair all the way down to what's on your feet. They're looking at how you dress, how you carry yourself, what's your tonality, what's your mannerisms, and etc. Can first impressions be changed? Yes, they can, but you have to work on it. So whenever you think about branding and you think about, okay, this is what I want my brand to represent. How are you representing it in yourself? Would you say that's a good correlation, Christina?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really is everything. It's from the clothes you choose to wear to how you carry yourself to the way you talk and things like that, that it just starts building a relationship. People immediately know that, like, hey, I think I might like that person. And they see me walk in with blue hair and they're immediately more comfortable with me. Like, they just know that I'm somebody that's probably pretty easy and relaxed and easygoing just because I have bright blue hair. I'm not going to be uptight, right? So they like will start a conversation with me so much easier than back when my hair was brown. So it's like it's every little step, but it's like even just that little moment of, hey, I think she's probably pretty easy to talk to, that started a conversation towards someone being a raving fan. Even if they never buy from me, it's totally okay. If they had a good experience with me wherever they met me, like whether it was Slack or whether it was in a Facebook group or whether it's, whatever, in person like this on a podcast, however they meet me, it should be a good, positive experience at every little tiny micro step of an interaction, and just results in raving fans. You get people that'll refer business to you, you get people that'll talk about you, you get people that will give you feedback when you ask for it about your programs, even if they wouldn't buy them, they'll tell you what they think about them. So it just makes life easier. You're naturally attracting the people, like when you're yourself and you're doing things, you're naturally attracting people that like that kind of person. So you're going to spend your days with people that you like working with a lot more. And I think it's applicable from like 1 and 2 person shops all the way up to, 50, 60 people. Like you still bring one person out or maybe 2 people out if it's a bigger company, and you build a personal brand around them and they bring business back to the company.
Absolutely, because one thing that I like is just really being authentic to yourself and knowing what your core values are. How is that tied to your mission statement? How is your mission statement there to really help people, to really have that domino effect and that ripple effect? And then what are you doing to consistently learn and grow? So, for someone who is not an expert like myself, but they want to get to your level, Christina, what are some tips and tricks that you can give them to really think about their branding and how to level up with personal branding?
And the biggest thing is just talk to people. Like I cannot tell you how many different like networking groups and trainings that I'm part of where over half of the room has their Zoom camera off and has their microphone off, and they don't say a single word, they don't participate in the chat, they don't interact in any way, shape, or form the whole time. Like I'm in things that are like $10,000 and $20,000 a year to be in these groups and in these rooms, and they are still leaving their cameras off. Like as I started getting to play in the bigger and bigger arenas, I thought I would see more and more interaction, and I didn't. Like everything from the free ones to the 20K a year ones, half the cameras are off. And you're missing out on an opportunity to have a conversation, to engage, to get feedback, to get input. And like my personal brand was built when I started showing up and giving advice. And like it literally changed my life. Like I started participating in conversations and I was getting value back and I was giving value and started moving my way up, and it just set this domino effect for me to be doing things, and it's cool. Like it opened so many doors. So show up and participate is probably the number one thing I can tell someone to do.
Wow. And I'm over here just amazed that someone will pay 10,000, 20,000 to be involved in a program, but not even show up. Like, what are you gaining out of that if you're not interacting? Because they're not going to be able to connect with you. Even if you're asking a question, whether you think that question is dumb or not, there may be somebody else that had the same question you have, but you were the ballsy one to ask the question, or you were the one that just opened your mouth. And as some of the younger millennials say, closed mouths don't get fed. So the best thing that you could do is show up and show out, because I can guarantee that people do not always remember the nerds in the classroom. They remember the jocks, the ones that stand out, and the ones that even say something that is completely stupid, but they open their mouth to speak up. So you can be, confident, you can really know yourself, but if you never open your mouth and share that, how are you going to build that know, like, and trust factor to give yourself credibility where someone sees you as a SME, subject matter expert? You're not. So why are you wasting this money if you're not trying to get a ROI, return on investment?
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of them do it because they're buying the training and they think the value is in the training. And not to say the training isn't good. Most of the trainings that I've bought are very good. But the community around the training, that's the value. Those connections with other humans, like, because you just don't know. You don't know which one of them is going to become your best client, become your best advocate, become your best referral partner, become the person that you go to when you're like, look, I cannot figure this out and I need another human to just lay eyeballs on it. Will you please look at it for me? And like those people are in these communities and you won't find them or connect with them, or like, and it's usually the unlikeliest of sources. And if nothing else, I mean, like they're just going to make you feel good. Either that you're not alone and you're not crazy if you're still learning, or that you're amazing and that you bring so much value and you are the expert, even if you didn't feel like it yet. Like participating is just going to help. It'll help lift you up.
Mm. I love that. And thank you for adding that sentiment, Christina. And then with you being a digital marketing guru, and there's so many platforms for content creators and people who are trying to market their brand, how can you ensure that you have consistent messaging across the board? And what are some ways that we could do better with digital marketing? Because we don't have it all, and some of us are still working it out by trial and error.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is to forget about the services that you sell. So anytime somebody comes to us and we're trying to overhaul their company, overhaul their brand so that they can grow and scale up and sell more, the first thing we do is throw all the products and services out the door. Like we don't pay attention to those, we don't look at those, we just assume they don't exist. And we take a look at this person. So this business owner, who do they really like to work with? Who if they had 100 of these people, would they enjoy it? If the phone rang, they're not going to cringe. They're not going to want to avoid the phone. They're going to be like, oh, hey, yeah, it's probably Sue again. And they're going to get excited. You know, it's like looking at the business owner, looking at their skill set, looking at what makes them happy, then looking at the type of people they like to work with and the problems those people have related to the skill set that our business owner has. Your products and services are the bridge. They're like, okay, so I really like doing this thing. I really like seeing business owners get happy. You know, I like seeing them grow. I like seeing them get more confident. I like seeing them, you know, start to actually get their time back in their day and make a lot of money, but not be like working 70, 80 hours a week. And I like to see the clients that they're helping get results and have the same kind of thing happen for them. So it's like, what products and services do we need to create to help make that happen? And some of them you may keep. They may be things that you already had and you're going to keep doing those things, but it may make you repackage it completely differently. I mean, like, for example, that's what led me into Superpowers, into sales. Because, like, at the heart of it, that's what I do. Yes, I build websites, I write blogs, I do like logos and branding, I do business card design, I do speaker sheets. Like, yeah, we do all this stuff, but it's like you don't care, right? We'll help you publish your book, we'll build a quiz funnel. Like, oh, okay, that's cool, that's great. But what I really help you do is make a lot more money and enjoy what you do and actually have time off. Like, oh, that, I want that all day, every day. I want that, right? So if you think about it that way and what you're actually doing for someone, the transformation, all of your messaging starts getting really clear around that. Like, then you start getting where you can say things like, hey, I help people turn their superpowers into sales so they can build a business that enables their lifestyle instead of taking over their life. I didn't say anything about my products or services. I didn't say anything about the type of business that I run. I didn't say I'm a consultant. I didn't say I'm a coach. I didn't say I'm an agency. I didn't say any of that. I said what you're going to get out of it. You know, like we had another lady we did this with that Christina Samoilo with Be Productive. She's amazing. And when you asked her what she does, she would talk for like 20 minutes and just could go on and on and on and on about things. When we got done working with her, she says she helps you build processes so strong that your success is inevitable.
Wow,
Right.
so
She's a
that should have
process
been
queen.
that should have been the first thing that she said versus the other, because sometimes when you say the last thing, people don't always, resonate with that. But if you say the powerful thing first, then they're like, oh, perfect, that's what I need.
Yeah.
But if
You
you
get
say,
permission to keep talking. Yep.
yeah, but if you say the other stuff, then sometimes people could check out and be like, okay, this doesn't apply to me, this is not what I need, right?
Right. Exactly. It's like, or they tune out because it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. 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 And like maybe they perk up when they're like, oh, I've been thinking about that. Like if I list all my stuff and it's like we help people publish books, they're like, wait, hang on. I've been trying to publish a book. Or we help people build quiz funnels and they just happen to be on Ryan Levesque's quiz funnel training. And they're like, quiz funnels. But you're hoping that they're going to perk up at one thing instead of speaking to like the bigger need that all of your target audience is going to have.
Mm.
So it's like by streamlining that for her, we actually made it easier for her to sell all kinds of stuff, because it's like what she sells is process mapping. She helps people build better processes. Well, that's your onboarding processes, that's your new client onboarding, that's your hiring processes, that's your marketing processes, that's your like doing a specific task process. Like it's all processes are happening all over your business. She helps you document them, automate them, and build SOPs for them. But it's like all of that's really like, wait, what? You help me what? But it's like, oh, we build processes so strong your success is inevitable. Tell me more. So it's like every sentence you're just trying to get permission to say another sentence. So you have to like speak to that heart, speak to that point, speak to that transformation that they're hoping to achieve.
Amazing. So if you start with the end results that they're going to get and then allow them to ask questions, then you could build on, okay, this is how I'm going to get you to these results. So, right?
Yep. And that comes in everything. I mean, it's everything from like your bio line in your LinkedIn profile to your email signature to the first thing you say on your website to like you're getting permission to continue speaking. It's like when they first come to any page on your website, here's the gist, here's the benefit. And now we've gotten permission, so they'll keep scrolling. But if you don't get that permission initially, you're done, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, so true. And I think sometimes people keep telling us about the niches and finding your avatar, but then if you go to one place where you think your ideal avatar is and they're not buying or they're not gravitating to you, then maybe it is your messaging. So you need to go back to square one, look at your foundation and shift your foundation. So what does that look like? Maybe making some transitions in order for transformations to take place and then go back out to that digital marketing space that you were in and see if the fish starts to bite or if the fish
Yeah.
takes the bait.
Well, and even just being yourself, you're going to naturally niche. So even if like your company's out here being big and generic, you're over here networking, being you, talking about the things that you're most passionate about, talking about your best, case studies, like your clients that you really love. They're the ones you're going to talk about all the time. The projects that you did that really light you up and get the best results. Those are the ones you're going to be talking about all the time. So it's like when you focus on your personal brand, you kind of niche without having to niche. It's like your business is still big and generic and plain and does all the things, but over here you're like, oh, this is what I really love to do. I like doing this part. And so you're naturally going to attract more of those types of clients. You're going to be known for that kind of thing a little bit more. Like I got known for content and messaging, like, because that was what I was really good at, because I was constantly helping people when they would ask questions and I was constantly talking about content and messaging and the importance of messaging. So now I got known for messaging. So we get a lot of referrals for messaging and then we upsell all the other stuff. Like we still do all the other stuff, but everybody started knowing me for messaging and branding. Um, so I mean, it just you kind of niche without having to niche. You don't have to spend all that time with avatar worksheets. I know the gods of digital marketer are gonna, have to bow down and pray. But you don't need all the avatar worksheets and you don't necessarily have to have all the CVJ stuff and all that kind of stuff. If you're young and you're a little company and you're really passionate about helping a small group of people do a thing and you get really good at doing the thing and you get really good at talking about the thing, then it's going to work out. Like you can do all the other stuff later when like, hey, I've got like 10 people that I've really nailed it for. I've gotten amazing results for these 10 people. I want more like these 10 people. How do we make that happen? Well, now let's document it, you know?
I love that. And Christina, before we jump into the call to action, is there anything else you want to say that I did not ask you about that you think will add value when it comes to personal branding and digital marketing?
I think probably get over yourself. That's probably the biggest one. And I mean, like, people are so afraid to be themselves. They're so afraid. Like, if I don't have the right lighting, or if I don't look at the camera the right way when I'm making a video, or if I stumble and trip on something and like I sound stupid when I say it, or like there's just excuses and excuses and excuses and excuses. And it's like, I mean, I'm wearing fish cake earrings right now. I mean, there is no rule. There is no rule. Wear what you want to wear. Be who you're going to be. My hair is bright blue. I'm wearing fish cake earrings and Naruto necklaces, and because I'm weird, and that's okay. I have capes in my background somewhere over here if I can point at the right thing. I use emoji paddles. I'm weird. It's fine. It's okay. And the less produced your episodes are, which you said something that intrigued me earlier, that you don't produce these. You just post them, which is like, oh, I love that. I love that so much. And now I'm like, ooh, I should do that. It would be so much easier for my podcast. And it's like, just don't worry about it so much. Don't reshoot your video 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. Put it out there. Just go. Just be weird. Be stupid. Have fun.
I love that. Just be yourself, y'all. Like, and I can't tell you like how liberating it feels to be yourself. Like, 2 years ago, I would not have came on the camera with my naturally curly hair. Now I just hop out the shower. If I want to wear it this way, if I want to part it, if I want to rock my curls, I'm going to do it. I was super obsessed with my Dominican blowouts. And because I was the only chocolate drop in my organization when I worked in um, oil and gas and energy. So I always felt like conditioned to look a certain way, wear my hair straight, dress a certain way, because I knew there was different board meetings and different tables that I would be seated at. And if there was no one else that looked like me, then you definitely had to like take ownership and be a part of the tribe. Or people would like, oh, I know that's an oil and gas person because they're wearing these shoes, they're dressing like this, they're talking like this, and you kind of know. Or some people say the blue shirt guys or whatnot. But at the end of the day, how much is that costing you because you're not being yourself? Because the minute you're yourself, it gives you that liberating power. It boosts your confidence and your health improves. But the minute that you try to seek validation and appease other people, you're dying a little inside because you're not happy. You're just doing something to ride the wave. And why the hell are we seeking validations from people who were never really created to validate us? Think about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you waste mental calories. We start each day with a limited amount of mental calories to go through the day with. And when you waste them on, retake number 5 and shirt number 3, and like, it's just not worth it. And I mean, I say that knowing that I have the same problem and I struggle with it too. I was like, I'm going to be going to Austin next week and I'm speaking with digital marketer at Certified Partner Trainer Training Day. I'm one of the trainer people that's going to get to talk. I'm doing a photo shoot while I'm there. I'm going to be meeting new people from the story brand community. Like, and I'm like, I don't know what to wear. Like, I went to like Stitch Fix and the personal stylist thing, and they sent me what you're supposed to wear, and it was like, I can't do this. I am not a skirt, shirt, and funny little heel kind of person. Like, I am a like yoga pant and t-shirt kind of person, especially since COVID. So I'm like, now I'm just gonna wear nerdy jewelry because nerdy is fun, and weird little shirts and jeans, and I got some like lace up heeled boots, and like, but I've spent the last like 3 weeks obsessing over trying to look normal. And then I was like, what would I say to somebody that's telling me this story right now? And I'd be like, feel the fear, do it anyway, go be yourself. So I'm like, okay, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta take my own advice. So I mean, I'm taking my capes, and I'm gonna be wearing capes in some of my photos because superpowers.
Amazing. I love it. And now that brings us to the call to action. So, what is your call to action, Christina, for the guests besides them being themselves, going out there and just sticking it like the movie Stick It? Yeah, if you need to pop your bra strap and show it like the girl in the movie and just say stick it, I'm being me, then do that. YOLO. You only live once. So, what is your call to action for our community?
Well, if you go to ChristinaHooper.com, there is a quiz on that page that is really helpful. It's what is your expert type quiz. It'll help you figure out kind of which little superhero you are, and then give you some actionable tips on how to reach the next level to get that, increased visibility, to get that increased connection, to help build your raving fans. It'll walk you through some of the steps that you need to take based on the answers to your quiz.
Amazing. And how can they connect with you via your website? And where do you primarily hang out on social media, Christina?
Oh, I'm all over the place. ChristinaHooper.com is the easiest way to find all of the places that I'm at. As far as social media, I probably spend way too much time on TikTok, more so than any other social network. TikTok is amazing. I'm about to be making more videos myself, drinking my own Kool-Aid, following my own advice. So
Oh, well, thank you so much, Christina, for just coming into the community and just sharing your awesome blue vibes and your cool personality with the community. Audience, all of Christina's info will be in the show notes. So ChristinaHooper.com. And then also her quiz for that call to action. Go take that quiz. You have nothing to lose but to level up your game. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. We're on 40 plus platforms. And you can see this video on our YouTube channel by going to @GEMS, GEMS with Genesis Amaris Kemp. Until the next guest, next segment, thank each one of you for supporting on a continual basis. Because of you, we're now ranked in the top 2% globally out of 2.8 million podcasts per www.listennotes.com. And we couldn't have done it without the incredible supporters like yourself. So until next time, peace, love, and lots of blessings. Go out there, challenge yourself, do something that gives you that wild card factor, and never stop being you because there's only one you. So do you, boo.